Boxing at its core is a madhouse with rules, a place where men trade years of their lives for a shot at immortality, and the crowd screams like jackals at the blood. On September 14th, that madhouse lands in Nagoya, Japan, and its ringmaster is Naoya Inoue, the monster, a man so efficient with violence it looks like he's cutting holes in reality itself. Across from him is Murodjon Akhmadaliev, compact, dangerous, a southpaw with teeth bared, swinging like a man who came to crash the funeral and steal the crown. This isn't just a fight, it's a collision of geometry and madness, patience and ambush. One man is a storm, the other a spark. And the only question is whether the storm swallows the spark or the spark lights the storm on fire. For fans in the US and UK wondering how to watch, Top Rank is streaming this one free on Facebook. No pay-per-view fee, just you, your screen, and one of the best fighters alive. I'm Reggie Cross for Behind the Lines, former fighter, trainer, and now your fight game translator. I've lived this sport inside the ropes, and I break it down so you see the moves before they happen. And before we get rolling, a quick shout out. We just crossed 1,000 subs on this channel. I'm humbled, I'm honored, and honestly, I'm just enjoying sharing my love of combat sports with all of you. So thank you. Every like, every comment, every sub keeps this thing alive. Now, let's get into this. Why this one is dangerous. Let's be real. Inoue has been mowing through the super bantamweight division. But southpaws? They complicate exits. And Akhmadaliev isn't just any southpaw. He's compact, explosive, and he fights in bursts. 2 or 3 crisp punches, then he cuts the angle and vanishes. Since that close split decision loss to Marlon Tapales in 2023, he's rebuilt momentum with 3 straight stoppages, capped by an 8th round TKO of Luis Gerardo Castillo on May 30th in Guadalajara.
September 14, I'm ready. Go. Uzbek power.
He's not flying halfway across the world to take pictures in Nagoya. He's here to rip the belts off Inoue and rewrite his own story. But Inoue's been busy too. He flattened Yejun Kim in January, then crossed the Pacific to fight Ramon Cardenas at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas this May. For the first time in years, we saw him on the canvas. Flash knockdown, crowd roaring. But Inoue got up, reset, and destroyed Cardenas inside 8. That's not vulnerability, that's adaptability. The monster doesn't panic, he processes. What makes Inoue terrifying isn't just his power. It's how little he wastes to deliver it. He doesn't bounce or pose. He glides with half steps, pivots just enough to carve a lane, then rips you apart. Against Orthodox fighters, he angles right for the liver hook. Against southpaws, he slips his lead foot outside, drives the right hand into your chest, and follows with the hook across your ribs. It's not flashy, it's surgical. Picture it this way. He's got Canelo's body shot cruelty, Mayweather's patience in setting traps, and Pacquiao's sudden entry burst, all in one frame. Add Chavez's cruelty downstairs and Marquez's timing upstairs, and you've got Inoue. Violence delivered with efficiency. MJ fights like a sprinter, not a marathoner. His lead right hand is his steering wheel. Sometimes a jab, sometimes a hook, sometimes a shove, all designed to line up the straight left. He loves stabbing the body, ripping the liver, and bouncing out on a V-step. When he's dialed in, it looks like early Pacquiao. Quick, shocking ambushes that land before you know what happened. At times, he's got shades of Timothy Bradley. Compact bursts, sharp entries, quick resets. But when he hangs in too long, he squares up, and Tapales showed what happens. Against Inoue, that's a death sentence. Orthodox versus southpaw is lead foot fencing. Whoever gets the outside foot wins the angle. If Inoue plants inside and pivots left, MJ's left cross blunts on air. If MJ skips his lead foot outside, suddenly that left hand drives into Inoue's chest. This fight could come down to who wins that geometry, but history says Inoue knows how to paint those angles better than anyone at 122 pounds. Inoue's timing is like Mayweather's patience with knockout power attached. Floyd made you miss and tapped you clean. Inoue makes you miss and then punishes you for daring to try. He'll feint the jab, spear the right into your solar plexus, pivot, and hook your liver until your legs betray you. Like Marquez against Pacquiao, he's always first and last, except his last shot usually folds you. MJ's timing is all ambush. It's pure adrenaline. Early Pacquiao energy. Dart in, fire 3 punches, and vanish. When the engine is running hot, he's a nightmare. But when the gas fades and the exit's slow, he's a sitting duck for a man like Inoue. What history tells us. We've seen Inoue dropped. Luis Nery put him down. Ramon Cardenas put him down. Both men ended up staring at the lights for it. That's not a flaw. His style, as scary as it is, does allow for mistakes, and the sharp counterpuncher can exploit that. Then again, it is also proof the man can take a scare, reset, and come back sharper. MJ, for all his talent, still lingers after his work. And lingering against a monster like Inoue is like leaving your throat exposed in a shark tank. So who wins? I'll say it straight. I respect Akhmadaliev. He's a real challenge, maybe Inoue's toughest test at 122 so far. But I'm picking Inoue to win fairly easily. Not because MJ is weak, far from it, but because Inoue's strengths line up perfectly with MJ's weaknesses. That right hand to the chest shuts down the ambush rhythm. The liver hook drains the tank. And once MJ slows, the exits close and the punishment snowballs. My pick, no surprises here. Inoue by late stoppage, rounds 8 to 10. So what's next if that happens? Reports say Inoue heads to Riyadh on December 27th to face David "El Rey" Picasso. On the same card, 3-weight champion Junto Nakatani moves up to super bantamweight, and that screams 2026 showdown. Picasso's slick, durable, rangy, but I don't see him troubling Inoue. Nakatani, though, tall, powerful, dangerous across divisions. That feels like a real test. And dream fights? Fans will always float names like Gervonta Tank Davis, the crossover spectacle. But weight makes that a fantasy. At 122, the only man who feels like a true test in the near future is Nakatani. Everyone else is playing catch-up. And when the lights go down in Nagoya, it won't just be about punches or belts or the pound-for-pound ladder. It'll be about a man chasing ghosts in a blood-soaked carnival we call boxing. Naoya Inoue isn't just fighting Akhmadaliev. He's fighting the endless suspicion that even the greats aren't great enough. That somewhere out there is a bigger shadow waiting to swallow them whole. This is the kind of night that reminds you why boxing is both religion and racket. Sacred in the violence, profane in the business. And Inoue, he's the high priest and the executioner all at once. If he tears through Akhmadaliev the way I think he will, Picasso waits in Riyadh, Nakatani waits in 2026, and the dream matchmakers will keep scribbling names like Tank Davis in the margins. But the truth is this. For now, Inoue is the storm, the fire, and the silence after the wreckage. The monster isn't chasing contenders anymore. He's chasing history. And history, like a mean old drunk at last call, won't be easy to put down. But if anybody can do it, if anybody can write that twisted, violent poetry on the canvas, it's Naoya Inoue. I'm Reggie Cross for Behind the Lines. If you're feeling the vibe, hit that subscribe. And remember, height fades, legacy don't. Peace.
745